Hi there, welcome to Motion Product. My name is Mike. In today's video, I'm going to share with you a technique I use called the Stickersheet Approach to help organize styles in my Bubble application so that I can reuse them easily by cutting and pasting or copying existing components into my Bubble application. So let's jump into it. One of my frustrations is with this. I have an input and that looks all great, but if I wanted to have a label with this input, it's really hard. Like there is no thing in here that says input. So what you have to do is actually drag in the text onto here and change it. So let me call that label, remove this style on it, and let's make it bold. Cool. For me, this is what I would want to use within my whole application, a label and a text. If I needed to use this multiple times in a form or application, I would have to copy this and this, copy, paste, and then repeat it here, and then so on and so forth. I find this method to be really tedious and cumbersome. So what I actually like to do is I like to create a whole new page inside my application called Stickersheet. And in here, I'll have existing things in here that I would like to reuse multiple times. And I might have this open up side by side in my widescreen layout. So I have one side that has the sticker sheet and one side with my application. So right now I have the input and text label as is, but I want to make this something that I'll just reuse. So I'll just group those in a column container. Let's say apply a gap, and then that's spacing of 4. Just rename this whole thing as text input, right? Now we're gonna just take that existing text input that we just created, we're gonna copy it, and we're gonna bring it to a page in our application. For example, this page here. So I'm just gonna open up my tree, and inside here I'm just gonna paste it, and there we go. We have 2 fields, and I'm just gonna add a workflow here to reset everything once I click it. So reset data, group sticker sheet. So if we preview this now, we can see that resets and that resets. And this, to me, is already better than the default experience, because you can actually have labels and text inputs. So you can reuse this in the application or around, and it just makes it easier to just pick and choose what you need to have on your application. Next, we're going to take a look at how to use the sticker sheet approach now with workflows. So let's get into it. We're going to look at this material design layout that I created here, this input. And inside this input, you can type stuff, and then if you remove everything, it just returns back to the label. And similar to how material design works, and this is all using workflows and not any plugins. So I thought this might be an interesting example. The thing that's different now is that we're going to use something called copy workflows. So we're going to go copy with workflows. So this will copy everything, the UI elements and the background tasks. There's a bunch of different things here. I'm going to go back into my main application page, created this material design looking button, and I'm just going to stick everything, the stuff that we just copied. Now we want to say paste with workflows. Cutting and pasting just doesn't work straight up. You actually have to use these menu items within Bubble to get it to work. So I pasted in there. It's at the bottom of the page. That's all right, because we're using the new responsive layout, so we can just drag things around like that, and things would just work fine. And then I would just do that. I add a little bit of padding at the bottom just to make it easier for me to grab and hold elements inside the sticker sheet, but yeah, you don't have to do that if you're able to grab elements easily. And yeah, now we can preview this and see what this looks like. And we have our default. That works. That works. And this works as well. And some of y'all might think, hey, why don't you just use reusable elements within Bubble? And the problem with reusable elements is that they don't work the way that components work in design tools. I created a component called reusable text, and inside here it has my label and my input. Put it on the page. I'm just gonna look it up, reusable. And we have our reusable text here. Looks great, but the problem is once I want to go in here and I change the label or something, I just can't do it, because if I have multiple instances of this, it's going to change the main one and everything's going to be the same. And that's just not how applications work. Here we can change this label to say this is label B and this is label A, and that works fine. And I'll show you that in a moment. So this is something we can change this label to say enter data, and then we can change this to label X just to prove that there's no smoke and mirrors here. And if we preview this, we can see that now we have label A and B. We have different labels for that. If I click on here, I see my label X. Enter data, I have label Y. That looks perfect, as you would expect, and it gives you that customization. Hopefully this workflow will help speed up the way you do design within Bubble. Please click like and subscribe, because I'm creating more content in the space of making design easier within Bubble, and look forward to seeing you in the next video.